Welcome to What If Goku Was a Legendary Super Saiyan? I hope you're all excited because I know I am. With that being said, let's get to it. When Goku was born, his power level was insane. It went all the way up to 20,000. 20,000! But then it went back down. His power level began to fluctuate. But his base power was around 9,000. This was amazing. However, King Vegeta heard about this, and he heard about how strong this baby was, and how much of a threat he was. So, he decided to do the only thing he could do, and send it away to a weak planet known as Earth. That way, he wouldn't really need to worry about him, so King Vegeta sent Goku away. As Goku was sent away, his space pod would land, and Grandpa Gohan would find him and begin to take care of him like in normal. But this time, Goku would have temper tantrums, and when he began to yell, scream, or cry, the ground around him would begin to shake. Everything would shake, as immense power came from Goku. Grandpa Gohan was able to keep him calm at first, but the more he had him, the harder it was to keep him calm, as he began to get older and the months passed. Eventually, he would see a weird green man walk up to him. Grandpa Gohan would be worried. "Who are you?" Kami would tell him he was the guardian of Earth, and that he needs to take Goku under his wing, because his power is so great he could destroy this entire planet, and that he needs to make sure he grows up in a calm way. Grandpa Gohan would actually agree, and even though he didn't really want to give him up, he kind of had to, so he gave up Goku. However, Kami said you could live with me and help take care of him, and Grandpa Gohan agreed since he was a good guy, and he went up to the lookout and he helped to raise Goku. Goku was raised under Kami and Grandpa Gohan, and eventually would get a calm demeanor, but the anger still boiled deep down within him. As the years passed, Goku was a kid, and he was very powerful. Kami and Grandpa Gohan would be arguing one day. Grandpa Gohan wanted Goku to go down there and stomp out all the evil, but Kami said we shouldn't do that. As a guardian of Earth, he shouldn't get involved like that. He should only get involved when the Earth absolutely needs him, and that might set Goku off if he gets too angry. Goku would hear him and decide to butt in. "I think I'm ready. I want to help the world, sir." Kami would sigh and say, "Alright." The Red Ribbon Army is an evil organization. It's been taking up lots of power. You can start by stopping them. Goku agreed, as Goku went to Red Ribbon Army bases and began to destroy them. They sent out tanks, jets, planes, and even hired mercenary Tao Pai Pai, but Goku's power level was simply too high. As mercenary Tao Pai Pai licked Goku's neck, Goku would say, "Ew, why'd you lick me?" Tao Pai Pai would be shocked. But you're supposed to be dead." "Dead? How am I supposed to be dead? You're silly." As then Goku would simply just punch him, knocking him out. And then Goku would destroy the entire Red Ribbon Army base. As Goku would destroy base after base, he would then begin to help Earth with all of their problems. He would go to town, helping them with their problems. Goku began to become famous as this little kid that helped everyone. Some people started to make legends about him, the little monkey boy, the little boy with a tail that helped people. However, since Goku was working all the time, he became extremely tired and slept the whole night. One day, though, he had a relaxing day. He just chilled in a nice, warm bath and didn't do much. However, this was a mistake. Because of that, he didn't sleep the whole night, and he would see the full moon. As Goku saw the full moon, his eyes would turn red, and he would begin to grow and turn into a great ape. Kami was shocked. He was watching at the lookout. He didn't know what to do. Suddenly, Great Ape Goku would go to a city and begin to destroy it. It didn't matter who was there. They were all wiped out. Kami could use the evil containment wave on him, but that was the only thing he could think of. Goku was too strong. Nothing they could do could work. Kami was about to do that, but Grandpa Gohan had an idea. He said, "What if I go down there? What if I try to convince him to stop?" Kami says he's not himself. Grandpa Gohan would say, "It doesn't matter. If he sees me, I can convince him. I can get through to him. I know it." Kami would sigh. He didn't like this idea, but it was the only thing they got. He said, "Okay, but if he attacks you, leave immediately." Grandpa Gohan would nod as he went down to Goku. Goku completely wiped out a city as suddenly Grandpa Gohan would walk behind him and say, "Hey." Goku turned around. "Please don't hurt me. You know who I am deep down. I'm your grandpa. I am the one who helped you. I am the one who helped raise you. Please. Sweet little Goku, I know you're still in there." Azaru Goku would look at Grandpa Gohan, and this would actually calm him down. The rage started to stop as little Goku started to get happy, and it seemed that Grandpa Gohan calmed him down. Just kidding, he was a savage beast. He murdered Grandpa Gohan instantly, grabbing him and stomping him to death as he threw him to the floor. The next day, Goku would wake up and see nothing but death and destruction around him. As he looked and saw his grandpa dead, Goku didn't know what happened. He didn't have any memory. All he knew that his grandpa was dead and everyone around him was dead. He assumed there was some type of battle that he lost. This has made him angry as his eyes began to turn yellow and he started to awaken a Kare form. Kami would see this and quickly go down there, as he would tell Goku that he was the one who killed them all and that you need to calm down. But Goku would simply punch Kami, sending him flying away, as then Goku would fly right after him. The Guardian of Earth would get up and begin to defend himself, as he would blast a ki blast, but Goku would simply dodge it and begin to fight Kami. Kami would try to talk sense to him. Kami would bring up the meditation techniques he used on him and all this, but it didn't work. Goku was a mindless beast. Even now, he didn't have his tail. He could tap into the Saiyan transformation. He can tap into the Azaru form without even transforming. Kami was simply too weak, and Goku slaughtered him easily. But he wasn't the only one. After Kami was dead, Goku would fly around, destroying forest after forest, city after city. Death and destruction went wherever Goku went. The Z fighters realized this, and they got a team of martial artists. Tien, Krillin, Master Roshi. As a Kare, Goku wouldn't stop his rampage. The more he heard screams, the more people he killed, it only made him angrier and angrier. Angrier that he could do this. This pushed himself further and further as his power level skyrocketed. It was something that Earth's never seen before. No one could stand up to Goku, at least not on Earth. As all the bodies were dropping around him, suddenly he would hear Kamehameha, as Goku would simply fly straight through it. This would shock Master Roshi as he punched him straight to the floor. Shin got out the evil containment wave as he wanted to trap him. Shin was ashamed of what happened, and Shin honestly didn't really want to live anymore. Sure, Shin was a bad guy, but to live in a world where most of the population's gone? No thank you. Shin would begin to try to seal away Goku, but Goku would simply be too fast as he would fly straight through Shin's chest, killing him. Chaozu would try to mind control Goku, but Goku was so powerful, and he was already kind of under mind control. His mind wasn't even working, it was just his body working without him, his anger fueling him. They were no match for Goku. Goku would easily slaughter them all. As he destroyed all the population on Earth, there was nothing but animals left, and even then they were sparsely populated. As suddenly, Goku would gain consciousness. He didn't know how long it's been since he was angry. When he was angry, he'd simply kill and eat, no matter who or what it was. As Goku looked around, he saw the entire world slaughtered and destroyed. And he didn't know what happened at first. Months would pass as he would search for other people, but he never found them, until he would slowly start to gain memories of what he did. Goku would be horrified. He can't believe this. He murdered everyone. All he ever wanted to do was help this planet. All he ever wanted to do was help the people around him, but he could never do that. He slaughtered them. He slaughtered them all. Goku would sigh as he thought about ending his life. He thought about ending this misery, but he decided not to do that. That would be too good for him. His punishment will be living here forever, all alone. with no one left to talk to since he murdered them all. However, little did he know that there were other people. Continue. It's been years since Goku killed everyone on Earth. He didn't mean to, his anger just overwhelmed him. Goku's been depressed ever since. He stopped training, he barely even eats, he simply does what he does to survive. And survival isn't enjoyment for him, it's a punishment to live with everything he did. Goku is an adult now. Goku would be sitting down by a campfire, eating deer. Saiyan, thinking about Kami, thinking about Grandpa Gohan, thinking about all the people he killed, thinking about how they were right. He should have never left the lookout. As he sat down and looked at that fire, eventually he would sense a power level. This shocked Goku. Granted, it wasn't stronger than him, so he wasn't worried, but he was actually excited, even if that power level seemed malicious, because he hasn't seen a person in so damn long. Eventually, it would get closer and closer to him, as it would be Raditz, his brother. Raditz would look at him and say, "Well done, Kakarot, wiping out all the people here." Goku began to get annoyed, because he didn't want to wipe out all these people, and being congratulated about it kind of pissed him off, but it didn't piss off him enough to go into a Kare form, and he hasn't seen a person in so damn long, he decided to let it slide. Raditz would say, "Are you ready to leave with me, Kakarot?" Goku would look at him and actually say, "Yeah." Goku knew this guy was evil, and maybe if he left with him, he can stop his evil ways. Besides, there's really not much he can do here. Raditz would then say, "Excellent." But then Goku would look at him and say, "What are we gonna do?" Raditz would then laugh and say, "Wipe out other planets, of course. We are Saiyans, the perfect race." Goku would ask more questions, and Raditz would tell him all about the Saiyans and all that stuff. And Raditz wouldn't even be mad. But then Raditz would say, "Where's your space pod, Kakarot?" Goku would say, "I don't know." This actually pissed Raditz off, as he looked at him and said, "You don't know where your space pod is?" But then Goku looked at him as his eyes turned green for a second. He said, "Don't you talk to me like that." Raditz saw his power level begin to rocket up, but then it went back down. Raditz was shocked. He just said, "Yeah, sorry." As then Goku and Raditz looked for Goku's old space pod, and eventually they found it. And Raditz was able to fix it up, so then Raditz and Goku went off into space. As they went off into space, this was all part of Goku's plan. Goku realized Kami was an alien, since he was an alien too, and he had green skin and was different. This means maybe there could be Dragon Balls on his home planet, and he can wish back all the people he killed. But he's going to have to play the part of a murderer until he can do that. Raditz and Goku would both arrive, as Vegeta and Nappa both met Goku and Raditz. Vegeta would smirk and say, "How strong are you?" As he scanned his power level, Goku was actually pretty strong, the second strongest. Vegeta would say, that can't be right. "Let's see how strong you actually are when you fight Nappa." He would say, I don't like the fight." "What? You're a Saiyan. What do you mean you don't like the fight? And you wiped out everyone on that planet." Goku would look up and say, "If I fight, I'll lose control." Vegeta just scoffed and laughed. "You must just be scared of Nappa." Nappa and Vegeta would both begin to laugh. As Nappa got prepared to fight Goku, Nappa would punch Goku and begin to beat him up until he got mad and went to his Ikare form and just wrecked Nappa. But then he kept going. Vegeta had to step in and knock Goku out. Vegeta said, "I see. So he can't control his anger. That form, I've never seen anything like it." His power level was rising. Vegeta saw it get stronger and stronger with that scouter. Could it have surpassed him if he was in that form long enough? No, he couldn't. He's the Prince of all Saiyans. Besides, this is just some weird fluke, right? Vegeta sighed. Raditz was shocked. His brother was this much stronger. How? How could that be possible? Vegeta and the rest of the squad brought Goku to Frieza, as Goku would bow before him, and Frieza would tell him everything he needed to know.
And most of all, he would tell him that you needed to be loyal to him. You wiped out everyone on your planet and just stood there like a good little monkey. Nice and loyal. Don't forget, you work for me. Goku would nod. As the rest of the Saiyans left, Goku still felt guilty though. He needed to do this. He needed to do something to stop this. Goku decided to have a plan. Goku and the rest of the squad would go to planet, wiping out all the life forms. Usually, they would just work as Goku did nothing, or Goku would do all the work, because they couldn't work with Goku because of his Akare form and his rage. However, one night Goku would point at his face and cause them all to take off their scouters, as Goku said, "I have a plan to have us all be free men." Vegeta and the rest would all be intrigued, as then he told them about Earth's Dragon Balls, how they wiped them all out before he can get them. However, Kami must have been an alien, so if he can find his home planet, there should be Dragon Balls there. Vegeta smirked and said, "Yes, there will be, and his home planet is Namek. Let's go." Raditz would say, "Wait, but as soon as we go to Namek, Frieza will realize we went rogue." "So who cares," Vegeta would say. "Once we get our wish, we'll be able to defeat him and rule this universe once and for all." Goku didn't like what he heard. He just wants to bring people back to life on Earth though, so he'll do whatever it takes. Goku and the rest of his crew went all the way to Namek. As they arrived on Namek, they all got out. Goku had a plan to ask nicely, since hopefully they can get it that way. But before he could even ask, he looked over and saw Vegeta destroying a Namekian village. He was horrified. As Vegeta wiped them all out, he got a Dragon Ball. And Goku realized the only way he can get the Dragon Balls now are by force. He sighed. As Goku sensed power levels, he sensed a pretty high one. Goku would say, "You all deal with the villages. I'll get the Dragon Ball from there." He pointed. Vegeta would say, "How do you know it's there? I can sense a very strong Namekian there. They wouldn't have such a strong warrior if there wasn't a Dragon Ball there. You can sense energy without a scouter?" Goku would nod. Vegeta would say, "Can you teach me that?" "Yes. I'll teach you when I'm back." Goku would fly. As Goku's been getting more and more control of his Akare form, he thinks he can do it without going into pure anger and rage. As Goku flew over, he saw Nail. Goku would explain everything to him and apologize for destroying his people, saying that if he helps, he can, but then Nail would punch him and say, "Shut up. You brought this to our planet. You brought the death and destruction here. I don't trust you. And if you want this Dragon Ball, you're going to have to go through me and get through my dead body." Nail would then begin to demolish Goku. Goku tried talking to him. He tried to keep calm, but he couldn't do it. As suddenly he went into his Akare form. They both battled each other, as Nail was still destroying Goku. However, Nail was overconfident. Nail saw this guy, and he saw him for his weakness, and he wanted him to suffer for what he did to his planet, for bringing those people here. However, that was an arrogant move, so eventually Goku's Akare form surpassed Nail, and Goku just destroyed him, killing him, blowing him up like he was nothing. As Goku flew over to Guru, about to kill him because of his rage, about to end all of this, about to make everything he did for nothing, but then he felt a hand grab his shoulder. As he looked behind, he saw Grandpa Gohan as he calmed down, but then he wasn't there. Was that an hallucination? Was he there? Was that his spirit? Goku didn't know, but he took the Dragon Ball from Guru, and Guru looked at him, and Goku would say, "I'll wish back all your people. I'm sorry." Guru says, "We can't wish people back. We can't wish more than one person back." This pissed Goku off, so he did all this for nothing. But then he had an idea. He could just wish to make it so the dragon could wish more than one person back. Goku then got the Dragon Ball and flew back to Vegeta and the rest, as Vegeta and the other Saiyans got all the Dragon Balls from all the other villages. And they even got a hostage, Dende, so they can use the password. Dende would refuse at first, but Vegeta used convincing and eventually summoned Purunga. As Purunga was summoned, Vegeta would wish for immortality, to live forever, as he felt the power course through his veins. Goku would then wish for Purunga to be able to bring back more than one person from the dead, to upgrade him. And it worked. And then Goku would try to wish to bring back everyone from Earth. However, just as he's about to do it, the Dragon Balls would all turn to stone. as they fell to the floor completely useless. And as that happened, Frieza's spaceship landed. Goku couldn't believe the timing. We did all this just for Vegeta to become immortal, just so that monster could just live forever, and then Frieza shows up. Vegeta would then laugh and say, "Were you gonna wish back the people you killed on Earth? I knew you didn't kill them on purpose. You're not even a true-blooded Saiyan. You're only a Saiyan when you're a monster. Now, let me show you how it's done. Let me show you how Vegeta, the Prince of all Saiyan, kills Frieza," Vegeta would say, smirking. As Frieza and his men got out, they were ready to take care of Vegeta and the traitors.
With Frieza and his men landing, suddenly Zarbon and Dory would fly towards the Saiyans. The Saiyans have been training a lot for this moment, as they all got ready to fight. Zarbon flew right at Vegeta, but then Vegeta just smirked and let him attack him. He lowered his guard and lowered all his energy so he can take as much damage as possible. Zarbon was confused. Vegeta just let him kill him, but then he got back up. "I am immortal now, and I still get Zenkais. My body doesn't realize it's immortal. And as it heals, I become much stronger," Vegeta said, laughing. As Zarbon looked horrified, all he did was make Vegeta stronger. Now Vegeta's immortal? How could this be? Suddenly, Goku would go over to fight Dodoria. However, Nappa would stop him. Nappa would say, "Listen, you're the strongest one of us, but we can't let you do this. If you lose control, you'll kill us all. Let me handle this." Goku would let Nappa fight Dodoria. Frieza would go over and watch, and to his horror, Vegeta defeated Zarbon, and Nappa would easily kill Dodoria. The rest of the men charged as Raditz murdered them all with a double sundae. Frieza would then look and say, "It seems you traitors have gotten a lot stronger." "But how? I haven't even noticed this before. How have you been able to get so much stronger?" Goku would say, "I taught them how to hide their power levels." And yes, I know in the last video I said Vegeta couldn't sense energy without a scouter, so we're retconning that. Don't bring that up in the comments. Alright, let's get back to the video. As Frieza looked over it, he said, "Interesting. So monkeys can hide things from me. Well, I got a secret for you too, monkeys." He jumped down and began to walk towards them. They all looked and asked what, as suddenly Frieza transformed. This shocked Goku and shocked everyone. The power, they've never sensed anything like it before. It was overwhelming. The entire planet shook as he flew right towards Raditz and cut off his head. He moved so fast no one could see him. All the Saiyans began to keep shaking as suddenly Vegeta would throw up an artificial moon. As Nappa and Vegeta would turn into great apes, and Goku would try to tap into his Akare form to fight Frieza.
Frieza would get pissed. He let these Saiyans live after so long. He could have wiped them all out, but after blowing up his planet, he let them live under him graciously. And this is how to repay him? Frieza would then look at Vegeta and then begin to laugh. "Vegeta, do you know the truth?" he would say, as he suddenly chopped off Nappa's tail. As Nappa fell down to his base form, Goku charged in to try to save him, punching Frieza, sending him flying. But then he would shoot a death beam, killing Nappa, hitting him straight in the skull. As Frieza would then begin to laugh. "I blew up your planet, Vegeta. I destroyed everything, and now I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna make sure that there are no Saiyans left. Your legacy, everything with it dies here." Vegeta would say, "I don't think so." As Frieza would cut off his tail, it would grow back since Vegeta was immortal. Frieza would be shocked. What is happening?" Vegeta would simply look at Frieza and say, "I am immortal, Frieza." Frieza would then get pissed and say, "Are you monkey?" As suddenly Goku would punch him to the floor, and Goku would begin to get stronger and stronger and stronger. Vegeta looked at Frieza as he began to laugh and help. Frieza didn't know what to do, but then he had an idea. Maybe if he threw Vegeta into the sun, he wouldn't have to worry about this. So Frieza, with most of his strength, blasted Vegeta back. It wasn't hard. He was blasted back to the other side of the planet. Then Frieza blasted Goku back. It wasn't enough to kill him, since in his Akare form he was getting stronger and stronger. Frieza couldn't tell though, since he was so much stronger than him. So Frieza transformed to his final form. As then he flew towards Vegeta and grabbed his tail. Vegeta tried to kick him off of him, and Goku flew up and punched Frieza, but he was like a fly to him. As Frieza started swinging around Vegeta, Vegeta said, What the hell are you doing?" Frieza began to laugh and say,
throwing you into the sun. Enjoy eternity, burning and coming back again forever. As then he threw Vegeta. Vegeta went straight towards the sun, but before he hit it, he blasted a ki blast, stopping him from going into it. Then Vegeta began to float out in space, dying and coming back again and again because of his immortality. He floated there, going farther and farther away from the planet, not really knowing where he would go or if this would ever end. Meanwhile, we cut back to Goku and Frieza. Frieza would try to taunt Goku, but Goku wasn't listening. He was like a mindless beast at this point. After Vegeta was gone, he gave up trying to compose himself. Frieza would say, you really are a monkey. Oh well, I guess I'll just kill you like the rest.
Frieza would then shoot a death beam straight in Goku's arm, breaking it. As it broke, he began to fall down. As he fell out of his Akari form, his body was tired and exhausted. As he looked up, Frieza would walk straight up towards him. So, you can talk now. That's nice. Any last words? Goku would then remember everything. He failed. Even when Vegeta was immortal, he still couldn't beat Frieza. Vegeta would probably be in the sun forever, and him and the rest of the Saiyans would be dead. Good. That's what they deserve. They're conquerors. They wiped out planets. He deserves this. They deserve this. But then he heard a voice in his head. It was Grandpa Gohan. Don't say that. I believe in you, Goku, and I still love you. You can defeat Frieza, undo all the evil he's done by defeating him right here, right now, and redeem yourself. Goku got up, and he began to think about all of this. All of the anger, all of the rage has been built inside him, all of the emotion, as he began to scream. Frieza then looked and said, "You're hurting my ears. Can you get this over with?" But then suddenly, Goku's hair would turn green as he looked at Frieza. Frieza was horrified as he began to shake in fear and walk back. What are you? Goku didn't talk, however. He simply began to look at Frieza and simply walked closer and closer towards him. As then he charged right after him like an animal. Frieza would try to shoot a death beam at him, but it did nothing. As Goku punched him to the ground, Frieza got up and began to fight him. But Goku, even though he was like an animal, he still had some sort of battle instinct. Goku then would begin to tear Frieza apart, limb from limb. Frieza would beg for mercy, and the first time in his life, the galactic tyrant, the man who tortures others, the man who destroys planets, the man who ruled the entire galaxy, couldn't stand the pain. Please, please! But Goku didn't listen. Goku was a mindless beast who grabbed him and ripped off Frieza's skull. As Frieza's decapitated head hit the ground, Goku would then pass out from exhaustion. As Goku laid there, passed out on Namek's floor, we would cut to Vegeta. Vegeta would be floating around in space for who knows how long, but eventually, as he de-transformed, his body would land on a new planet. The planet would be planet Yardrat. As Vegeta got up, he looked at the Yardratians all around him. Vegeta could have killed them, but he's just thankful to, be on a planet where he can breathe and walk around without dying and coming back. So he would need a spaceship from them. So he would look around and ask, and that was going on. We cut back to Goku. After a while, Goku would eventually wake up. As Frieza was dead, Goku would go and find a space pod and go back to Earth. Even though all the people there were dead, Goku still found it his home and still thought it was peaceful. And people or not, Goku was going to live there because he was an Earthling, no matter what. As all that was going on, we cut to Dr. Gero. You see, there was a couple humans who survived underground. Dr. Gero was one of them. He learned how to hide his power with a lab, and him and what's left the Red Ribbon Army stayed there, hiding from Goku, the man who destroyed the entire world. As Dr. Gero finally was working on the androids, these androids would be strong enough to kill Goku, and strong enough to get revenge. Sadly, however, Goku left, so he might as well cancel the project. Or so he thought, because eventually Goku would arrive back at the planet. Dr. Gero smirked, ready to put his plan into action, ready to make 17 and 18, and ready to get revenge for what Goku had done. It cut to Vegeta, who, for the first time in his life, was trying not to be super violent. He may have threatened his way there and here, but overall, he was doing good, and he managed to get instant transmission out of it. as Vegeta would try to sense Goku's power level, but he really couldn't. Vegeta would wait. He knew there would be a time when Goku was angry, because Goku did get emotional from time to time. One time he managed to get angry and he was able to teleport in. As Goku was training, he had to stay diligent. Ever since he saw Frieza and his empire, he knew there were threats outside. And well, even though he wanted to punish himself for making him stay on Earth forever, there could be threats that go to Earth looking for him. Vegeta would appear behind him and say, "Hello, Kakarot." He would look behind and see Vegeta. "What do you want?" "Since you're alive, I know you defeated Frieza. You must have became the legendary Super Saiyan, the one that only appears every 1,000 years to do it." Goku says, "So that's what that was. I guess that makes sense. Why are you here? King Cold will show up. It's Frieza's father. If you can do it, a low-class Saiyan, I can do it too. Teach me how to turn Super Saiyan, and you don't have to worry about getting angry. I'm immortal." Goku sighs and says, "Alright, I'll try my best to teach you. But only so we can get rid of King Cold. After that, I never want to see you again. This is my punishment, here alone forever." Vegeta would nod. Vegeta would start training under Goku, but it was long and grueling. The training was intense. Goku unlocked Super Saiyan out of pure emotions, out of pure anger. Goku was going to have to make Vegeta feel the same way. He was going to have to torture him mentally and physically to make him strong enough to become a Super Saiyan. Vegeta felt pitied by letting Goku train him, but at the same time, the fact that he wasn't going easy on him actually made him feel good. For once, he felt like he can actually compete with Goku. If he just unlocks Super Saiyan, he'll be the strongest one, since he's immortal. However, as they were training for months, eventually King Cold would arrive, and Vegeta wasn't a Super Saiyan yet. As King Cold arrived, he walked off down to Earth. King Cold heard about the traitors, but he looked everywhere in the galaxy. They weren't there, so he knew Goku went to Earth once, so he went over here out of desperation. As he went there, he saw nothing but destroyed cities and forests everywhere. As he landed, though, Goku and Vegeta would both show up. King Cold would look down at them and say, "Oh, it's you two." "I am here for one purpose, to avenge my son. But I heard about how strong you are, Goku. You know you could join me." Goku would smile and say, "Thanks, but no thanks. Besides, I think Vegeta would work with you far better since he's immortal." Vegeta would laugh and say, "I don't think so." Oh well. Goku would then fly so fast King Cold couldn't see him, and he would kill all the soldiers. As they fell down dead, Goku would say, "Your turn, Vegeta. I'm hoping King Cold can push you like Frieza did, but he doesn't look anything like his son. I think he's gonna be a pushover compared to him." King Cold got mad and said, "How dare you say that?" As King Cold charged at Goku, Vegeta would punch him, saying, "I'm your opponent." King Cold would get up, and Vegeta and King Cold would both continue the battle each other. King Cold would completely destroy Vegeta again and again and again, but each time he destroyed him, he came back and healed. Vegeta got angrier and angrier and angrier and angrier and angrier because he couldn't kill King Cold, even though he was immortal, even though he was the Prince of all Saiyans. Goku was the one to kill Frieza, not him. Vegeta started to remember everything Frieza did to him, all the terrible things he made him do, and most of all, what he made him become. Vegeta never had a choice in what he was, but the first time in forever, Vegeta had a choice, and he chose to be a Super Saiyan. He chose to be stronger, he chose to be better, and he chose to make sure they're all defeated. Vegeta chose to be better than Goku, to be better than anyone, to be better than Kakarot. Vegeta began to get angrier and angrier and angrier as he started to remember all these memories. King Cold began to laugh. Doesn't matter if you're immortal or not. A monkey is a monkey. This was the last straw as Vegeta began to yell and his hair turned yellow as he achieved Super Saiyan. He simply walked close to King Cold slowly as King Cold began to shake and he went to his knees. "Please, please don't kill me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry." King Cold would beg for his life like the pathetic coward he was. However, Vegeta honestly didn't care, so he just murdered him. Right then, right there. blasting a ki blast straight through his chest. As Goku would smirk and say, "I'm proud of you, but this Super Saiyan feels different." Vegeta would look and say, "Yeah, it does. It doesn't matter though. I got immortality, so you can get the cool Super Saiyan." Goku would laugh. So would Vegeta. Vegeta and Goku actually became friends. Vegeta was the one person, if Goku ever got really angry, he couldn't just straight up kill because of his immortality. And Vegeta actually started to like and respect Goku. They had a mutual friendship, or somewhat. But eventually Vegeta would decide to leave and take over Frieza's empire. But he would still visit Goku here and there. And everything seemed peaceful and fine. However, Dr. Gero was there. Even though his drones were destroyed, he still got some information on Goku, and eventually created 17 and 18. Dr. Gero and the two teenagers were the last humans on Earth, and were now no more. Humanity was dead. There was merely just androids. Dr. Gero would look at him and say, "Are you ready for revenge?" They would say, "Always," as they got out and began to search for Goku. Goku would be in the woods, enjoying the night sky, looking up at the stars. Remembering the times he visited other planets. Remembering the times where he got to see other cultures. Of course, he did wipe those cultures off the face of the world, but sometimes he misses it. Sometimes he wishes he can do it again. Not the destroying them, but just the traveling part. He'll have to travel out with Vegeta sometime. It seems fun. But then, suddenly he would hear footsteps behind him. As he turned around, it was 17 and 18. Goku would say, "I can't sense your energy. How did you?" 17 would then say, "We're no longer human. Dr. Gero hit us. We were made for the sole purpose of getting rid of you and avenging humanity." Goku would sigh and try to talk his way out of it, saying, "I don't want to fight." But 17 and 18 would both try to fight Goku, and Goku didn't have a choice. He would keep trying to talk, but then they would push him and then turn it into his Super Saiyan form. Goku was almost completely out of control at this point. He would say, "Please don't do this. I don't want to destroy anymore. I just want to..." Dr. Gero would then say, "Shut up. You took everything from me. You took my son, my army, my everything. I loved my son. He was the most important thing in the world to me, and you killed him, you heartless bastard. And you wiped out all of humanity. You're a sick freak." Goku would then sigh. Everything he said was true. But since he was getting beat up, eventually he gave in to the anger, as the legendary Super Saiyan was born once again and began to charge at 17 and 18. 18 would simply just kick Goku to the ground like he was nothing. Each time he got up, they knocked him down. But he got stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger each time. Eventually, 17 would punch Goku and it would do nothing. Goku would simply look at him. 17 would say, "How is this possible?" Then he would grab one of its arms and rip it off. As 17 fell to the ground and began to cry out in pain, 18, his sister, was horrified as she tried to save him, but to no prevail. He would simply kick off 17's head, then look at 18, as he would blast a massive Kamehameha as it hit him, destroying her instantly. And Goku would look at Dr. Gero. As Dr. Gero would try to fly away, Goku would catch up to him and grab him by the leg and begin to toss him around. As he would smack him into the ground again and again and again, Dr. Gero would beg for his life. "Please, please don't kill me, please, please." But Goku kept going as he kept slamming his body into the ground until his head fell off. Then he stepped on it and destroyed Dr. Gero. As Dr. Gero died, all of his dreams died too, except for one. Cell was still being created. However, without 17 or 18, he wouldn't be able to absorb them, and that would still be for a while, since there's no time travel. It seems like Goku destroyed the androids, and destroyed the last hope humanity had of avenging their deaths against Goku. It's been quite a while since Vegeta and Goku met. Last time they met, Vegeta unlocked Super Saiyan 2 and wanted to show it off to Goku. Goku still had way more potential than that, but he was still glad to see that Vegeta was improving. And with his immortality, they actually became quite good rivals and friends. And even though Vegeta ruled the universe, he became quite softer. He still wasn't like a good guy, but He actually knew how to have friends and how to have a good time now, besides just blowing things up. And well, that matters. One day, however, everything was going to change. Goku was just sitting down there on Earth like he normally does, when suddenly he would sense a presence show up. Since Earth was completely wiped out, anyone showing up at all was a big red flag. Goku would start to walk towards it to see what it was going on, but then he heard a voice behind him. "Wait, Goku." He turned around. It was the Grand Supreme Kai. As he said, "Who are you?" "I am Supreme Kai Shin, Watcher of the Universe. I look after this place. And there's someone trying to bring back someone evil, someone who could destroy the entire universe itself, and we need to stop him." Goku would nod and say, "Okay, makes sense." Supreme Kai Shin would take Goku to Vegeta. As Vegeta was on his throne, he would look down and see Goku and Supreme Kai Shin. Vegeta would walk towards and say, "Ah, Kakarot, I missed you. But who is this person?" Goku would say, "This is Shin, a Supreme Kai." And Shin would tell him everything, and Vegeta would listen. And Vegeta and Kakarot were, as Shin explained everything, Goku and Vegeta would agree to go to Earth. As they both went down to Earth, they began to sneak and look around. Babidi was confused. Everyone at Earth seemed to be dead, so there was no one to collect energy from. This pissed Babidi off. He was going to have to get energy from other planets and go all the way back. Or so he thought. But suddenly, he felt it. He felt two new people arrive on the planet. As he looked, he saw them in his crystal ball, and he was excited to get to fight them. As Goku and Vegeta would find the spaceship, there wouldn't be any traps or anything set, because, well, there's only two people, so Babidi really needed them. Goku and Vegeta would just enter. Even though Shin Tunnel was a trap, Vegeta didn't really care. He was immortal, so he wasn't scared of dying. And Goku, he just wanted to get this over with so he can relax in peace. So as they arrived there, Vegeta and Goku would arrive at the first level, as suddenly, the first matchup would be against Pui Pui. As Pui Pui looked at them, they both got ready to fight, as Vegeta said, "Let me handle this scrub." Vegeta would walk up to Pui Pui, and Pui Pui would say, "I've heard about you, the man who took over the galaxy. I've been wanting to fight you for quite a while." But then Vegeta would simply just punch him as he was talking, and start to beat him up, with just no words involved. People would get irritated, as he would try to fight back, but no matter what he did, it wouldn't work. Suddenly, Babidi would transport them to Pui Pui's home planet, as he would say, "Yes, 10 times gravity, you cannot withstand." But then Vegeta simply just blew his ass up. And he was like, damn. He was irritating. As then they would go down, and the next match would be Yakon. As Yakon looked at them, he began to smirk and laugh. "It's time I take you all down," as he licked his lips. Goku and Vegeta looked at each other and said, "Well, I guess it was my turn," Goku said. Vegeta would say, "Make sure to compose yourself. We don't want this Supreme Kai getting hurt." "Well, I wouldn't really care, but it seems like you would." Goku would nod. As Yakon and Goku would both begin to battle each other, eventually, Babidi would turn everything dark, where he couldn't see anything. It seemed like Yakon had a true advantage, or he would if he didn't smell bad, and Goku could easily tell where he was based on the smell. Yakon wasn't having a good time, as Goku just began to pummel him. Yakon was getting more and more frustrated, as he started to yell at Goku. Goku smirked and said, "Oh yeah? You think that's a problem? Check this out." Goku went into his Akare form. He didn't want to use his legendary Super Saiyan form, because, well, then he might get out of control. If he loses control, it's over. Everyone here will die, except for Vegeta, because of his immortality. Goku looked at Yakon, as Yakon looked at him. And there wasn't a whole lot of light coming out of him, so it's not like he could just eat the light. Goku then became a pummel Yakon. As Yakon was pummeled, Goku would get bored and just blow him up. This shocked Babidi. Babidi began to get horrified as he began to shake. Two of his most trusted henchmen were dead. There was only one more person he can use, Dabura. But if Dabura fails, they all fail. Babidi began to shake more and more as they went to the final room. As they went there, Shin said, "We're probably going to have to fight Dabura. Dabura, if he spits on you, you turn to stone, and you'll be stone forever until he dies." They both nodded, as Vegeta says, I think I should take this one, since you will spiral out of control if you get too angry. Goku would nod as he would sit down and watch Vegeta. As Vegeta got ready to fight, it took longer and longer and longer. Vegeta got more and more irritated as time went on. Now, it's not like he was ready to fight in a tournament because everyone's dead, and he got to see Goku often, so he wasn't mad he didn't get to fight Goku, but he was pissed off that someone was wasting his time. He was Vegeta, the immortal Super Saiyan and the king of the universe. Dabura was meditating, gathering all of his power, gathering all of his strength, as then he walked out the door. So Vegeta, you ready to fight me? Let's see how you compare to the mighty Demon King. Vegeta would smirk and say, I'll be the last person you ever fight, demon. Vegeta would then transform to Super Saiyan 2. This shocked Dabura. This energy, how is this possible? Vegeta would smirk and say, anything's possible when you're the prince of all Saiyans, as Vegeta flew and punched Dabura straight in the face. And Dabura and Vegeta both began to battle each other. But Dabura was outmatched in every single turn. Dabura tried to spit on Vegeta would simply smirk as he dodged Dabura as he tried to spit on him again and again. Dabura got desperate. Every move he used, every magic trick he used didn't work. Babidi would see this. As he got more and more scared, he would have to try to turn Vegeta on his side and hope that Goku versus Vegeta would summon enough energy. Babidi would try to tap into Vegeta's mind, and even though he was evil enough for it, this time it didn't work. Vegeta didn't want to be controlled. He didn't need that boost. Since he was immortal and fought Goku all the time, and even won sometimes, he didn't really need to become so much stronger than him. He began to yell as he held his head, but then nothing happened as he smirked. You think you can control me? I am Vegeta, the prince of all Saiyans. As then, he pushed his fist straight through Dabura's chest and blew out his insides. As Vegeta then walked up to Babidi, Babidi would get on his knees and beg for his life. Please, please, Vegeta, don't kill me, I beg of you. Please, 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 please. Majin Buu can work for us both. We can work together. And Vegeta would just simply blow him up and sigh. Well, that takes care of that, as he transformed back to his base form. Shin smiled. We did it. Vegeta said, of course we did it. These minions were nothing. Vegeta and Goku simply walked away, and Shin was astonished by their power. Now, Goku would be walking away with Vegeta, but then Shin would stop him. Shin would ask, do you have that form too? Super Saiyan 2? No, but I do have another version of Super Saiyan. A Super Saiyan version that if left unchecked becomes so strong it can destroy an entire universe. Everything in this universe could be wiped out. If I could breathe in space, of course, and if I never stopped. Shin looked at Goku, intrigued. This form, he's never heard anything like it. Shin heard about Goku's anger problems, and he was going to have to make sure he calmed down, so he took him to the world of Supreme Kais and put Goku through training. Kibito didn't like it, but he didn't really have a choice but to let it happen. Goku trained his mind and trained to be more calm. And as the months passed, Goku became more and more calm. He was even able to use his legendary Super Saiyan form without going out of control. It seemed like everything was well. But little did they know, danger always lurks behind. We cut to Beerus. Beerus would be dreaming, but he wouldn't be dreaming of some Super Saiyan god. He'd be dreaming of some legendary Super Saiyan, a Saiyan with limitless power. At first, he was so much stronger than him, but the more he fought, the more his power grew. The more he became stronger and stronger, the more he became greater, the more he became more powerful. As he battled him, the power was overwhelming. Beerus continued to fight him, just for his power to grow. Beerus was excited, not because of how strong he was. Well, he was excited for that too, but most of all, he was excited for his potential. The fact that he had unlimited potential. That is what excited Beerus. Eventually, Beerus would wake up, though, and couldn't remember the dream as he went to his bath. Suddenly, he would remember legendary something. Legendary Super Saiyan. Whis would then laugh and say, really, my lord, a legendary Super Saiyan? Yes, I know what I'm talking about, Whis. I've seen it in my dream. You know, that dream about you becoming a rock star didn't really play out that well. Beerus would sigh, as then he would ask Whis how many Saiyans are alive, and he would say, 2. Vegeta and Goku. Interesting. Whis would tell him about how Goku defeated Frieza, which shocked Beerus, and then Vegeta was immortal. That shocked him even more. An immortal Saiyan, usually immortal people are illegal under a lot of laws, under gods of destruction. But Beerus didn't really care since he just slept all the time. But that does seem like so much of a threat. He would ask, is Vegeta bad? Well, yes and no. He used to be very bad, but he changed a lot. He's not good per se, but he does keep the universe balanced, similar to your job. So he helps do my job for me. I think I like this Vegeta now, Beerus would say, as Beerus would get up, begin to eat, and start to travel to Goku. Since Goku was the legendary Super Saiyan, and he could tell by looking back, he would go to the Supreme Kai planet, since Goku was there training. Goku was meditating, focusing on being calm, as Shin realized that a power was getting closer and closer to the planet. It was Lord Beerus. Why would he want to come here? He just didn't know. Shin began to get nervous. Old Kai looked at him and said, don't worry, your life's connected with Beerus. What? Yes. You see, if you die, Beerus will die too. So there's no way he will destroy you. Shin was shocked, but that makes sense. After all, Beerus never came here. Probably because he never wanted to put his life in danger. However, why is he coming here now then? That's the question. Eventually, Beerus would land on the planet and look around. Kakarot, or Goku, whatever you want to be called, are you here? Goku would get up and say, yes. What is the meaning of this, Lord?
Beerus looked at Goku as he simply walked up towards him. So, I hear you're very strong, but you can't control your power. Don't worry, you can go all out with me. Shin must have told you who I am. I'm a god of destruction. Goku was shocked. He never had someone ask him to go all out. Well, only Vegeta, and even then, he would try to knock him out as soon as possible, not just let him blow. But it seemed like Beerus wanted him to get mad. He wanted his power to skyrocket. Goku would say, look, Lord, I respect you, but I don't think it's a good idea for me to just be let loose. We can go to Earth where everyone there is already dead, so it's not like you can kill anyone. Beerus would say, I really don't care about life getting caught in the crossfire, but alright, if you insist. Beerus would go to Earth with Goku, as then they'll begin to fight each other. Not much would happen, but slowly he would turn to his legendary Super Saiyan form. As Beerus would battle him, it was super easy for him, but the more he battled him, the stronger and stronger and stronger Goku got. Beerus was astonished. His potential was unlike anything he's ever seen before. Beerus actually started to have fun. He had fun slowly awakening more and more of his power as Goku grew. It took a long time, but Goku even started to get tier God level. Beerus was having the time of his life. You know, Goku, I think, but then Goku would simply just hit him, looking at him with his angry face. Beerus would realize something. Goku couldn't talk. He was like an animal, a monster. Beerus would sigh and say, so that's why you don't like to let it out. Makes sense. You don't like to be this way. Maybe I can teach you not to be this way. Goku would look at him. Goku did have the potential to talk and act normally when he transformed, but if he did that, it holds back the potential, so he decided to let it all loose and become a beast. As the beast and Beerus fought, Beerus was having a good time, but eventually Goku would get tired out and pass out from exhaustion. He looked down at him and he would say, you have more potential than anyone I've ever seen. This will truly be interesting. Goku would then begin to wake up. As he woke up, he was on a strange planet. A planet that he has never seen before. He began to move around. As he saw Whis, Whis looked at him and said, hello, Goku. I've been training Vegeta. Once he unlocks God Ki, he'll be a worthy rival for you. You and him can both train. Goku would say, really? Yes. Goku would then nod. As Vegeta was training with Whis, Beerus would look at Vegeta. Usually I don't like people who are immortal, but you could help Goku train. Goku becomes stronger, and that's what's important. Vegeta would smirk and say, I'll help Kakarot become stronger, alright. Beerus would laugh. As Vegeta kept training, Goku would stay on Beerus' planet and talk to Whis. Whis would teach him how to be calm, just like the Supreme Kais did. And he'd work towards it, and this time, he can go fully Super Saiyan Legend without losing himself. He can talk, he can think, and he can use his battle IQ. Finally, Goku can transform. Beerus would then look up. After quite a few months, he would ask Vegeta and Goku both to fight each other. Vegeta would agree as he transformed to his Super Saiyan God form, and Goku transformed to his legendary form. They both battled, and the battle was legendary. Goku enjoyed it, so did Vegeta. For the first time ever, they truly felt equal. They truly felt on par. And true, Goku was growing more and more powerful. Vegeta and Goku pushed each other out into space as they both began to battle each other. And as they battled, they actually had a good time. They were both pushing each other further and further. As Vegeta would say, you really think you could defeat me, the Prince of all Saiyans? Goku would look at you and say, you may be a prince, but I'm a legend. As Vegeta then began to laugh, you're something else, Kakarot. No one else is like you. Goku would smirk and say, right back at you, Vegeta.
They would both look at each other and laugh. And as they laughed, Goku would then begin to charge a Kamehameha. As Vegeta looked at him and charged a Big Bang attack, they were putting all of their energy, all of the resources, everything they had into this attack.
Goku was pushing it with everything he had, the Kamehameha, his final attack. As Vegeta was pushing his Big Bang too, they both hit each other as they began to yell, Super Saiyan God versus Legendary Super Saiyan. At first, Vegeta was ahead, but as things going on, Goku got stronger and stronger and stronger as he pushed the key further and further against Vegeta. As he was pushing, he looked and said, it's over for you, Vegeta. Vegeta would say, no, it's not over. I refuse for it to be over. I will never let it be over. Vegeta continued to push him with his Big Bang, with everything he had, with every ounce of energy, and he actually started to push Goku back. Goku was shocked. His potential should be rising, not Vegeta's. Vegeta started to push Goku back, then Goku pushed Vegeta back, but then Vegeta pushed Goku back as they were pushing each other with everything they had, the anger filling up inside their bodies, the anger pushing them, the anger making them stronger, as they both continued to scream, ah! Eventually, the ki blast would explode, and they would both fall to the ground. As Vegeta healed instantly, Goku was a little wounded. Vegeta would say, let's just call it a tie. Goku and Vegeta would both laugh. And Beerus would start to get worried. At first, he was just having fun, but what if they get too strong? He thought, is there anything he could do? We cut to a lab. Even though Dr. Gero was dead, his project lives on. A project called Cell. Cell was there, gathering DNA from Majin Buu and many others. All the people Goku had faced, he'd gotten DNA from, and he eventually would emerge. However, this time, he would be scared. You see, Cell was scared he couldn't become perfect, since 17 and 18 would be dead in this timeline. However, he had an idea. Cell was made from Kami's DNA, so maybe, just maybe, there was a possibility he could make Dragon Balls. He didn't know if this could work, but he had to try. Cell would muster up all the knowledge he could, and would make a new set of Dragon Balls on Earth, and have it spread across the planet. Eventually, he would find them all and summon the dragon. Once the dragon was summoned, Cell made a wish to become perfect, and his wish was fulfilled. He felt massive amounts of energy, massive amounts of power, as he began to smirk. Cell was ready to take on Goku and Vegeta, and prove himself. Cell would then fly out into space. Cell could wait for Goku to come back, but Goku hasn't come back for a long time for some reason. Maybe it has something to do with that cat. Cell didn't know a lot about that cat Beerus, but the computer stopped gathering DNA at that point. So, it really doesn't matter. Cell began to fly further and further into space, going to planet, asking around where Goku was. But not a lot of people knew who Goku was. Eventually, though, he would start to ask where Vegeta was, and he would find him. If he found Vegeta, he would
be able to find Goku. Besides, even though Goku had that unlimited potential like he did, Vegeta was still immortal, so it's not like he wouldn't be a fun fight. And now he gets to find both of them. Eventually, Cell would find Vegeta's capital planet. As he would walk towards them, soldiers surrounded Cell. Cell would just murder them all. As he made it to Vegeta, Vegeta would look up. I've never seen your species before. Where you're from, and why you challenge me, the Prince of all Saiyans and the King of the Universe, Vegeta. Cell would then laugh. Good, you deserve this royal title, even though it's been turbulent for you to get it. I'm happy for you. Then again, that might just be the you inside of me. Cell would then laugh. Vegeta would say, tell me what you want before I kill you right here, right now. Cell would then begin to show off his power, as Vegeta began to shake, but then smirk. So, you want to fight? Cell would say, yeah, you and Goku. How do you know Kakarot? Cell would laugh and say, I'll tell you all about it once you bring me to him. Vegeta would then sigh, and he would agree. As Vegeta and Cell began to travel, they would go to Beerus' planet, where Goku was. Vegeta would have brought Cell to Beerus' world. As Beerus looked at him, he said, who the hell is this, and what have you brought for me? Vegeta would smirk and say, entertainment, of course. As Cell would look around as he saw Beerus, Beerus would look at Cell and say hello. Beerus would then show off his power to make sure Cell knows not to mess with him. Cell would nod, a little annoyed that there's someone stronger than him now that he's perfect, but he can't really throw too much of a fit since it is a god. Goku would walk out as Cell got into a fighting stance. Are you ready to fight? Are you ready to push yourself like you've been pushed? I would say push yourself like you've never been pushed before, but let's be honest, you've been through a lot, haven't you, Goku? Goku would laugh and say, yeah, I have. Alright, Goku would agree to fight Cell. You can tell a lot about a person based on how they fight, and Goku wanted to know a lot about Cell, since he is made of his and a lot of other people's DNA. So, as Beerus and Vegeta watched, Goku and Cell would both begin the battle. As Goku and Cell both flew up and began to punch each other, Vegeta and Beerus would simply watch. Beerus would yell, don't destroy my planet. They would promise not to, as Goku started to actually kind of like Cell and understand him. Cell wasn't a bad guy. Well, he wasn't a good guy either. Cell just wanted to fight. Pure and simple. That's all I really wanted. He had a lot of different DNA inside of him. And Cell was mostly a calm guy because of Goku though, because most of his life he's been trying to calm himself. However, once he's in this legendary Super Saiyan form, Cell is irritated. He gets irritated easy, and a dark side, an evil side appears. As they both go into their legendary form, Goku sees this and begins to get worried. Goku tries to calm Cell down, but Cell tells him to shut up. This is about fighting, and nothing more. Goku sighs as they both continue the battle, and as they battle, their power level grows more and more and more and more and more. Vegeta and Beerus are astonished to watch their power grow mid-battle. It seems that neither one could defeat the other. However, Cell had an advantage because of his healing factor. Goku knew this, and he had to get rid of him right here, right now. And he can tell his morality, his good, was all slowly fading away. It was like a split personality. He didn't lose control, but all of his things he held dear was gone. Cell didn't really have much, or anyone. He just liked to fight, but at least he was a nice person. But in this legendary form, Cell didn't care about anything. And Cell just wanted blood. He became more and more violent. And he started to attack Goku in more pressure points and more violent ways. Goku would say, I didn't want to do this, Cell, but you leave me no choice. As he began to charge a Kamehameha, Cell laughed and said, you think that'll do anything, idiot? I can do that too. But then he ended transmission behind Cell and said, I learned this from Vegeta. As he blew open Cell's top, Cell would fall down to the ground, back into his base form, as the top of his body was destroyed. And then he would get up and heal. Goku would turn back to base and began to pant. You okay? Cell would say, yeah, I am. Cell would grab his head. His head was hurting. Cell didn't know it, but Cell had a darkness within him. A darkness that comes out every time he goes into his legendary form. Beerus would sigh and say, great, someone else who needs to be controlled. Beerus would just walk off, as Vegeta would say, don't mind him. At least we can all train together. Cell would say, yeah. Cell, Goku, and Vegeta would all begin to train together, but Cell would be thinking about the voices he heard. Whenever he turned to his legendary form, he would hear a voice. It sounded like Dr. Gero, telling him to kill Goku, telling him to fight, telling him to slaughter. But Cell would shake his head. It seems like Dr. Gero must have put that in to make sure he would kill Goku, to make sure he would do his bidding from beyond the grave. But he's no puppet. Even with this voice inside of him, he's not going to do it. Cell is his own man. He's going to have fun training with his new friends.
And that's exactly what Cell did. Cell trained with Goku and Vegeta and enjoyed himself. And Vegeta had an empire to run. Goku did meditation and had inner peace, but Cell didn't really have anything. He didn't really know what he wanted. He was trying to figure out what he wanted in life. However, we cut to Beerus. Beerus is getting worried. Goku and Vegeta he could handle, but Cell, someone with a healing factor, and the legendary form, Beerus was uneasy. And Vegeta was getting more powerful than he expected, too. He just thought he would use the God Key, but now he has Blue. And he hears about him trying to improve Blue even more. Beerus was getting more and more worried as time went on. He was just supposed to have one or maybe two pupil, but now he has three who are always getting stronger, and two of them have the legendary form. And Vegeta, what if he learns about him putting a hit on his planet? The records might still be there. Beerus was getting more and more worried, so he decided to go to Supreme Kai Shin to talk to him.
Shin would look at Beerus, confused, as he would say, what's up? Beerus would simply look down and say, listen to me. I want you to call Goku here, tomorrow. Why is that? I need him distracted, gone, so I can deal with the others. Two of them with unlimited potential, that will be tricky, but one at a time I could take them. Shin would say, what are you talking about? Beerus would look at him and say, they're a threat to me. They're a threat to this universe. Goku's already got out of control once, and now with this cell, I'm gonna have to wipe them out. Beerus would say as he walked off. Shin would think that's a bit hypocritical since Beerus goes on rampages too. And Goku's a good person. He didn't want to be involved in the scheme. However, Beerus would look at him and say, you better help, because if I fail, you'll die too. Shin would say, you're so powerful, you really think? I don't think, I know. There's a reason I've been in this game so long. There's a reason I've been God of Destruction for a long time. And that's because I wipe out threats to me. Shin would then sigh, as he thought about Majin Buu, so he's full of crap, but he didn't really tell him that. Beerus would say, you're gonna help me whether you want to or not, as then he traveled away. Shin didn't know what to do, but then he came up with a plan.
One day, Goku would hear a voice in his head. It was Supreme Kai Shin. He was telling him to go over to his planet. He didn't think much of it. He trained there a lot mentally to keep his mind secure. Cell was right beside him. You going away? Yeah, when you're back, let's fight again. Goku would smirk. Cell's gotten a bit better at controlling himself, but he's not perfect. Alright, but no legendary form. Oh, you're no fun, Cell would say. Goku would then end his transmission to Shin. Shin would look around and say, alright, we don't have much time. What are you talking about? Shin would sigh as he thought about telling him the truth. He thought about telling him everything. He trained Goku personally. Goku was a good person. He didn't deserve to die. Shin would look at him and say, listen, I have a plan, alright? He would give them the evil containment wave, and he was like, what is this? It's our way out. Our way to defeat Beerus. Beerus, Shin would say, Beerus wants to wipe out all of you. He has a way of getting past Vegeta's immortality, and he wants to destroy you all, but he doesn't want to fight two legendaries, so he wanted me to bring you here. I want you to watch. We're gonna watch,
Beerus and wait for him to start fighting them both. Then you're gonna instant transmission, get Vegeta, instant transmission back, and I'll teach him the evil containment wave. Why not now? Beerus is watching them now. If I bring him here now, he'll automatically come to this planet. He needs a distraction. The distraction will be Cell. Goku would nod. As Vegeta and Cell would eventually start to train together like normal, Beerus would show up. They would both look at him, saying, "Oh, you want to get in on this?" But then he would look at him in a serious face. "You both are a threat to me. It's time I cleanse you. It's time that I clear the way for myself to survive. I was a fool to train you, Vegeta. You're immortal, and Cell, you're also a legendary. 2 legendaries and an immortal? There's no way I'll let you live." Vegeta's like, "You bastard!" As suddenly he would charge at Beerus. So would Cell. Vegeta would go Blue Evolution, and Cell would tap into his legendary Super Saiyan form, both of them charging at Beerus. Beerus knew he needed to take them on one-on-one, so he kicked Vegeta away, as then he focused on Cell. He was going to have to erase him because of his regeneration. As he was fighting Cell, Cell would get stronger and stronger and try to keep his distance from Beerus. As Cell's split personality began to take over, Cell began to laugh. "I'm gonna kill you, Beerus, and when you're dead, I'm gonna be in charge of this universe." Beerus would look at him and say, "We'll see about that. The only thing you'll be in charge of is dust." As Beerus flies straight towards Cell, and Cell flies straight towards him, and as his power level rises, Beerus begins to get worried. Vegeta's about to jump in with a big bang attack, but then suddenly he looks around. As he's transported to the Supreme Kai's planet, Shin would look at him and say, "We don't have much time, hurry. You're immortal, so you won't die if you do this to him." Vegeta was confused. What is going on? Goku would then be teleported down to where Beerus is to distract him, as Vegeta began to learn the evil containment wave. Beerus would look and see Kakarot and Cell, both in their legendary forms. Beerus would be pissed. "It seemed like you betrayed me, Supreme Kai. Where's Vegeta?" He began to get worried as Vegeta was gone, and didn't know where he was. He must have some sort of scheme to defeat him. But with Goku and Cell both in their legendary form, getting stronger and stronger, Beerus couldn't worry about that now. He had to give all of his attention to these two. Beerus was getting worried. Every time he tried to separate them, every time he tried to hit one with an attack, the other one would hit him. Both of them had each other's backs, and both of them stopped Beerus from getting any lethal damage inflicted upon them. No matter what Beerus did, he couldn't separate one, and he couldn't destroy the other. He was getting more and more annoyed and overwhelmed, but then he had an idea as he began to laugh. "Goku, you care about life, don't you?" Goku would look at him confused. "Of course I do. Why?" Beerus would then charge a massive energy ball and throw it towards the planet. This would cause Goku to fly up and deflect it, and that as this time frame was going on, Beerus would appear behind Cell and hit him with a Kai. This Kai hit Cell, erasing his left arm and parts of his body as he fell to the floor, barely able to stand. And when he tried to regenerate it, it wouldn't work. Cell would say, Why, it's not working?" And Beerus would laugh. "You can't regenerate something that's erased, Cell. I have the power to erase something from existence. Now, Cell, it's over. Your miserable existence ends here. Everything you did was for nothing. You'll die and be forgotten, never mentioned again." Cell simply laid down. As his right arm was gone, parts of his body were gone. He simply looked up and accepted his fate. Goku would punch Beerus, stopping him, but then Beerus would whack him with his tail, sending him flying. As then, Beerus shot a Kai at Cell. Cell would cry out in pain. Cell would cry out in anger, but he would die. Cell was gone forever, permanently erased. He couldn't even be wished back unless you used the Super Dragon Balls. Beerus would look at Goku and continue to walk up to him. "It's over, Goku." Goku would say, "No, it's not." As suddenly, Vegeta would instant transmission in. Beerus would turn behind and say, "I already used one Akai. It's time I use the other." Vegeta would smirk and say, "Akai? I like another technique better." Beerus would look at him confused. "What are you talking about?" Suddenly, Vegeta would take a deep breath and yell, "Evil containment wave!" And suddenly, Beerus would begin to swirl around in the air. As Beerus looked down in the seal, he realized what was going on. There was many different techniques that seal you away. Most of them were known by destroyers or high-level beings. Shin must have taught Vegeta this. That angered Beerus, that someone betrayed him that was close to him. How could this be? And Beerus would be sealed away in the container. As Vegeta sealed him, Whis would suddenly appear and look at them both. "Looks like we need a new god of destruction. Which one of you will do it?" Vegeta and Goku both looked at each other. "Well, Kakarot, do you want a shot at it?" Goku thought about it. To be honest, Goku didn't want to destroy anything, but his entire life he had this anger deep inside of him, this anger that made him stronger, this anger that could make him a great god of destruction if he uses it responsibly, unlike Beerus. Goku would look at him and say, "I don't know. Do you want it?" Vegeta would look at Goku, and they would begin to discuss who deserves it more and if they actually want it. But Whis would get tired, and he would just grab Goku and say, "You're the god of destruction now." "Wait, what?" As then Whis would bring Goku to Supreme Kai Shin. As Shin looked at him and say, "Did you do it?" "Yeah." "Awesome. Now our lives will be locked together, and we'll be God of Destruction and Supreme Kai." Goku would nod as they would both stand in front of each other. Whis would sit down, as Whis would then begin to do a ritual that would link their lives together. Now that their lives were linked, if Supreme Kai Shin died, Goku would die. And if Goku died, Supreme Kai Shin would die. Their lives were linked together permanently. As Whis would then say, "Alright, Goku, you're now the new god of destruction." Whis would then look at Goku and say, "What's our first order of business, Lord?" Goku would think for a while, then say, "Well, I'm hungry, so let's get something to eat." Whis would then laugh and say, "I guess not much has changed." Whis and Goku would then both begin to laugh at each other. And as they laughed, Goku then remembered Cell and brought up the Super Dragon Balls, hearing about it from legends. And Whis told him it was true. Goku would get the Super Dragon Balls and wish Cell back to life and train Cell. Cell and Vegeta and Goku were like the three amigos. They were three best friends, and they lived out on this universe forever. With Goku being a god, Vegeta being immortal, and Cell just not aging, they are able to age past so many people. Goku, who once destroyed everyone, who once killed everyone who ever loved him, finally found family, and he finally found peace with himself.